What's happening, Facebook? Good to see you guys. Hey, I got a great opportunity today to have my lovely wife. Most of you guys know April Cichelli, and I'm kind of putting her on the spot today. We've never actually done, well, we've done one live video, right? No, we did one with Jared when we started with Jared. See, yeah. Do you remember when Jared started? And we did that video for him, and we went live.
Yeah, that's the one I answered like one question.
Right. But the point is that we've never done one before, ever. And so we have a unique opportunity. April's done 2 or 3 of them on her own. She's done very, very well when she's done them. But I wanted to bring her into the scene because a lot of what I've achieved and a lot of what I've done directly correlates because of April, right? And those of you that know me, we're going to touch on our story a little bit. Those of you that knew me prior to April could probably say that I was in a much different situation in life. Would you agree with that?
100%.
So you're going to say hi, you're going to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody.
Wow. So April, for those of you that don't know April doesn't go live very often or ever. I think she's made a total of 3 videos on her own. And so doing the live broadcast is going to be kind of a hurdle for us to go over. But I thought it was really important, guys, that you saw, just kind of the back. This is like the behind the scenes of Keystone and the behind the scenes of all the companies we have. And so, guys, do me a favor. If you're watching, like and share the stream. Make sure you like the page. If you have any questions, I encourage you to get April out of her comfort zone. She's up here. She clams up a little easy, but get her out of her comfort zone and ask her some questions. Because I'll tell you this, dealing with me over the course of the last 5 years has probably been a giant pain in her ass. And so it takes a relatively special person to do that. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
It might be a long podcast, guys. So I'll give you the backdrop. So maybe I'll get you involved. How long ago did we meet? Tell them how we met.
A little over.
I have to reshare this. All right, guys. Sorry, we had a little hiccup there. Here's the nice part. I'm going to touch on that for a second. With these issues that we're running into, guys, we're doing something brand new we've never done before. It's extremely exciting that we're able to do this. But with this, we're always going to have issues, right? Nothing's going to go off perfectly. You can talk to my old buddy Nate Walker there. Nate Walker will tell you they have issues every time they go live, and so we're going to run into them too. That's just part of life. But I have a pretty amazing opportunity to have Mr. Rob Satt back here running the show. So when we do go down, when we aren't up and running, that I have somebody that can fix it real easy. And so, Rob, we're good now. We're running. Are we on a different stream? Because I don't have it on the phone at all.
Yep.
We are on a different stream? Okay. Well, I'm going to bear with us. I hate being on my phone during this, but we're going to get on this. So, guys, if you have questions or concerns, or if you have anything, jump on. Make sure you're asking us. But so date me back. Tell me again. Start over, April. Did you have a chance to regain your bounds now?
Nope.
So start over. Tell me, how long. Give them some backdrop on you. Maybe what you've done, what you achieved. Because a lot of these people might know you, but a lot of them might not know you, right? April thinks the whole world knows her.
They do. However, so we actually met. I'm not going to go into a backdrop on myself because there's not much to go on a backdrop on. However, we met through my sister. Ryan and my sister were actually really good friends for a year or so. They partied like every day. However, I always had to deal with them coming home drunk. So
not true. That's not true.
Very accurate. So I knew Ryan a little bit before actually getting together. However, he tried talking to me for about 2 years, and I wanted nothing to do with him. He'd ask me to the movies, ask me out. I always rejected him, and then one day I wasn't babysitting and asked if he wanted to hang out, and that was it. We kind of just never separated after that.
She only rejected me because she knew the love was so strong, right? The gravity was hanging out. So here's what's important about that. Back then, I could tell you. You ask me on some days, I'll tell you I don't know why the hell I did it. But back then, I knew I wanted to hang out with her. Grant Cardone kind of has a funny story, relatively similar. His wife denied him for 6 years or so, and he kept trying and trying and trying. And I'm not going to say that I'm on the same level, but April did deny me quite a few different times, and you know what? I don't know if it's my pride, but getting rejected or facing rejection, it's like an obstacle that I'm supposed to overcome. Like I'm supposed to get a yes out of a no, right? And it worked. We're married now, right? So here's something kind of exciting too for those of you guys that don't know this, that we have we had a baby on the way right now, which is really exciting. We're hoping for a girl.
It's a girl.
It's a girl, but what if it's not a girl?
But it is.
All right. We're hoping for a girl, but we have a large family. So I'll give you the backdrop on myself. I had my son Eli. He's 7 years old now, and I had him in my first relationship, right out of high school, with a girl named Tanya Schuyler. We get along great, but my first son is 7 years old, and we have him every single weekend, which is wonderful. And then Aiden and Brady, we say are our twins, but they're not April's biological twins, right? April's been in their picture since they were 3-4 months old, and she's been in the picture ever since. And so a big thing that I can say about April, one of the biggest things about the biggest qualities on her, is that she came into, I'll give you a kind of a backdrop on myself too. Like I was partying my face off. I was in a lot better shape back then, right? I didn't have quite as pudgy cheeks, but I was, partying a lot. And once I had the twins, I kind of had to settle down, but at the same time, I was meeting April, and April knew that I had twins on the way, and I thought, man, this chick is going to leave me. But what she did is she really settled me down, and she really gave me a lot of gravity and gave me a better head on my shoulders. You know, I don't like to always admit when you're not doing that great, but I'll tell you that when I was getting Eli before the twins were born, I would get Eli and spend time with him, enjoy my time with him. And then as soon as he would leave, I would already have a party or two lined up that we were going to go to that night. You know, and that was a younger version of what you see today. But a lot of you guys can and probably should relate to that you've made choices like that. And so what happened is April came into my life, and it changed a tremendous amount. Not only did it change a lot of things, you know, I stopped partying as much. I stopped partying as much, but at the same time, we had the twins a lot, and so she really helped me to become a better father, even though that's really hard to admit for some people. You know what I mean? I'm okay with admitting that. I think that I put on my last share, it started from the bottom, now I'm here, right? And that's pretty accurate, because I was at a pretty low point. And I can tell you that there's many times that I cooked on a wood stove in my house in Lucas, because we didn't have propane. And not only cooking on my wood stove, but that's multiple points we didn't have our lights on. There was a pretty shitty point when we didn't have wood and I heated with candles for like a weekend. I didn't have no kids then. But what I'm telling you guys is the struggle is real, right? We're at a way different, paradigm shift, right? We shifted our paradigm to do well, and I couldn't have done that without April. And so that's why I'm getting around the backdrop. One of the most special things about April, and I don't tell her this enough, and the only time we're ever like real lovey to each other is when we're explaining each other, or if I'm introducing her to something, or on our wedding day. We were pretty lovey to each other. I actually cried. Were you surprised by that?
I was.
Yeah.
No one thought it happened.
No, I didn't even think it would happen. But the important part is here's what's super important. She came into the twins' life, and she really took on the twins as her own kids, and that's a real big deal. Like at any given time, I don't think anybody could ever tell over the last 5 years that she wasn't their biological mother. And not only that, but I don't think that a lot of people even know. And the reason is because she had a massive, attachment to them, and my concern was, if you imagine, and Eli, she gets, she has a good connection with Eli, but Eli was a lot older when she came into the picture. But if you can imagine, I see the things on Father's Days and Mother's Days about like the step parent, and the stepped up is the real hero. Well, I'll give a lot of credit to April. She stepped up a mass amount, and there's been a lot of times, and this is going to be like some Dr. Phil shit here. There's been a lot of times where I'm like, man, dude, like we've had our ups and downs. We're a normal fucking couple. You know what I mean? We don't, shit rainbows and unicorns and have this wonderful, life where we make tons of money. But there's there's been some times where we've had our ups and downs, and the fact that she's such a strong mother figure in their life, really, I have a call coming in. I apologize for that. Anyways, the fact that she's such a strong mother figure in their lives, you know, at certain points when we weren't doing very well, when we were arguing and bickering, got me through that, right? Got us like, you weigh the pros and the cons, and anybody that's actually in a relationship, if you've never weighed the pros and cons, then you're in a hell of a relationship, because I'll tell you right off the bat, there's been a couple times I weighed the pros and cons, and the pros always outweigh the cons tremendously, even if sometimes I didn't want them to because I was so mad at her, right? And so and I'll tell you this, as much as I can physically do it, I try to always just side with her. I don't do it all the time.
Don't ever do it.
But I feel like, and here's another really point, not just siding with her, but so this is personal growth. So every guy that's watching this, your girlfriend's probably going to be like, you should do this. I do it, and I still don't always react perfectly to it, but I try to see things when she pisses me off from her point of view, right? Like, why did I piss her off? Well, there's probably a couple good reasons why I pissed her off. And I have to try to see that, because a lot of times for me it doesn't make sense. Would you agree with that? Is there times that I piss you off and I don't think there should be a reason that I piss you off?
A lot of times.
Do you ever try to see it from my point of view?
Often.
Yeah, she's
Not always.
lying. Yeah, right. Yeah. So, but there's a lot of keys to getting through stuff. And so one of the biggest things that I've had to, and we're going to touch on this, one of the biggest things that I've had to kind of overcome is that it's tight back here. I see Abby's watching. Don't even drop a fat joke. I know you're going to. But one of the things that we've had to overcome is that this woman, I don't know, for you guys that don't know this, we have monkeys. This woman drives me fucking nuts with animals. I can't stand these goddamn animals. I can't. They drive me, the monkeys drive me nuts. We have 3 monkeys. We have 3 boys. We have monkeys. So we have what kind of monkeys do we have?
A lemur and a marmoset.
And how old are they?
A year old, and Diamond's like 6 months.
And they're horrible. And they're absolutely horrible. If any of you want a lemur, come to my house whenever April's not home. I'll give you the lemur.
And we would be divorced.
Would we? It'd be an easy way to get a divorce.
I ain't signing no papers.
So, but that's something that I know that I have to get over with April, is just the simple fact that there's nothing I can do to change her, man. She's an animal lover, right? How many animals? Good. Tell them about your animals. Tell them about it. How many we had this year? How many we had this month? How many we had the last 5 years? What kind of stupid shit do you bring home? These are the things that in marriage you have to know what you're getting into. And guys, I knew what I was getting into. Do I regret it some days? Like 4 weeks ago, I definitely regretted it. But tell them a little bit about it.
Well, I've been rescuing my whole life, so I take in rescues every time someone calls me. I've brought home, every time Ryan sends me to the store, I usually come home with an animal somehow. People just call me at the right time. So I'll come home with possums and raccoons and bobcats and skunks and squirrels. And we've had a bad mice problem this year, and Ryan was setting traps left and right, and I went out and bought a live trap the other day because I couldn't handle it anymore. So I've just always been a big rescuer, and it's something that will never stop. And when our property's done getting worked on, I'll probably have a zoo.
You move a lot, you know that? Is that because you're nervous?
Yeah.
I bet if you watch this video, the whole time you're just moving.
I am.
So, but these are things that you got to know, guys. Like, I hope that a lot of you guys watching it, you know, male or female, you can see there's certain things in an individual that you're going to work with and you're going to just have to deal with, because you take them for who they are, right? The fact that I like to drink scotch and have a couple beers, April's got to take that, you know, because she knows that that's what I like to do. April doesn't drink ever. Like, her 21st birthday, she drank. She drinks once in a while. Or the fact that, like, I'm obsessed with business. Like, I'm absolutely obsessed with business. I'll almost invest in anything to see what the outcome's going to be. And I'll put 110% into it, but April will say, I don't want you to do it. Don't do it. How many times have you told me not to invest in something?
Many, because sometimes you'll look into it with barely looking into it at all, and you just jump without knowing the full potential outcome.
Yeah.
And you only see the positive side of it, where I see like how it could go great, but it could go horrible.
Right. And so I'm more of like, and I'm way more laid back. I am way more laid back. Like our house could burn down, and as long as the kids weren't in it, I'd be like, we'll build a new one.
That is not true. My monkey almost burnt down our house, and I didn't hear the end of it.
Yeah, that's pretty mad actually. But where you're more uptight, right?
I am.
You are definitely way more uptight than what I am, and so you got to take it at each one. So I know, guys. Did you tell the Bobcat story?
No.
Oh, okay. So this is some bullshit. So we talk about all these animals. I'll tell you a couple different ones because you got to take people for who they are. I can't change April and these stupid ass animals, right? And a lot of you people might be like, "Oh, you're so mean. Animals are great. I love animals." Well, I'm not that guy, right? I don't love animals, and so she comes. So I have her go out late, and I have her go get me a bottle of scotch because I was out, and I enjoy my scotch. And as I'm sitting home watching the kids relaxing, she comes home and she's got like this thing in her arms and it's tightened up. She put my scotch down and I said, "What do you got?" She goes, "You're going to learn sooner or later to stop sending me to the store at night." And I said, "Why is that?" And she goes, "I brought something home." And I said, "Well, what'd you bring home?" And she goes, "You're going to be pissed." And she opens it up and there's a bobcat in there. Like I'm not talking about a nice like bobcat that's her. Like this thing was mean. Like it wanted to rip my fucking face off. And she puts it in the cage and it's like tearing apart the cage. And it was mean.
It was probably the meanest animal I've ever taken in.
And I go, "What the hell do you have this thing for?" And she goes, "It's malnourished. It needs a bottle or some milk or something." And I thought, are you kidding me? Right? Like, so we had this, so it was cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was cool. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. My buddy Matt Gunnarsson come over and he even thought it was cool and he doesn't like animals just as much as I don't.
I gave it a day and I came home and Ryan was dragging it around the house on a leash trying to tame it. So. Yeah,
well, I think, if you can have a cat other than like a tiger or a lion, a bobcat would be pretty cool. Except, the old bobcat was not cool and he was mean as shit. And he tried to kill me 3 or 4 times. Literally tried to kill me. And so every time we try to get him out to feed him or to, I don't know, whatever people do with bobcats, he would get mean. And I thought to myself, we need to get rid of this creature. But the point is, guys, is that I know that I'm not going to change anything. I come home, I have a gym in the garage that I don't use nearly enough. She brought a cow attached to my weight bench so it didn't run away. That was a fun one. She showed up one time with a hawk, a full-blown hawk with a broke wing. Just the shit that she brings home. You know what I mean? It's like Jeff Irwin's. I was going to say
Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin's. Who's Jeff? Jeff Corwin. I don't know my animal people. It's like a mini down version of Jeff Corwin?
Steve Irwin.
I don't know. Anyways, but the reality is I'm never going to change that. Like, here's the thing, too. Some people will say I'm admitting defeat. I can kind of see that. I would rather tell you that I am at peace with it now. But I know for sure we have 30 acres. We're building a new house right now. There's going to be a rescue.
The dad to a capuchin.
Yeah, I don't know about a caption. I guarantee she'll have a rescue. I guarantee she'll have horses and just dumb shit, right? That I think's dumb. But on the same token, right, you got to take me for who I am.
A drinker.
I'm gonna not. Dang, you make that sound so bad. I'm not like a drunk, Jesus. But I like to drink scotch, and at the same time, I'm big into business. I invest and I invest and I invest. There's a bug up there. You gonna flick that thing? You should flick it. Anyways, but I'm going to invest in every single company that I come across, especially if there is what I believe is a lot of opportunity. And so, guys, there's give and take at all times. And so there's a tremendous amount of value of picking your partner, right? And here's another thing too, because you can date anybody. You only are supposed to marry one person, and so you better be pretty sure of it when you marry them. I've been questioning it every day since the day we got married. But I'm joking. But what I'm getting at is that you have to make sure they're absolutely perfect, or you're going to go through divorce, right? And not going through divorce is like obviously a goal that every married couple should have. I'll give April a lot of credit. We handle our business like very well. I'll tell you, she's pregnant right now. We're hoping for a girl. I don't know if we mentioned that already. We're going to have a boy, right? Boy number 4.
No.
All right. So we're hoping for a girl, but she's been a little moodier lately. I think she's been a little moodier lately. The office thinks she's been a little moodier.
I think I've been doing great.
But we get into arguments, guys. We have our ups and our down times, and I actually told my team this one time. There was a day a couple months ago, and I really tore into her. I was mad. I was pissed right off because you have those times, right? Like I'm going to be very transparent with you guys as an audience. Like we have those days where we are absolutely pissed off at each other, and typically you either talk it out or you get over it. But there was a time we woke up, it was like 6 a.m, we get around, we go to work, and on our way to work, we got in a big fight over something. I don't even remember what it was over, so it must not have been that important. But we got in a big fight, and as we got in a big fight, I come into the office and I was expecting her to kind of be like a kind of a pain in the ass about it. And she came in and it was like it didn't even faze her. Like it was like we were never even fighting. And so and she's a manager at Keystone, right? She's going, what are you going for right now?
Series 65.
And what's your 65 for? What will that make you?
Financial advisor.
Right. You're swaying again. Anyways, it'll make her a licensed financial advisor, guys. And so it's a really big deal. But so she has a lot on her plate right now. But what I'm getting at, she came in and she handled herself like a boss, right? She didn't let anybody know that we were fighting and there was issues or we were going back and forth. And she come in and she ran she ran her meeting and she ran her training the way she was supposed to do. Guys, that's super important. That's super important because if we were going to bicker back and forth all day at work, we work together every single day. We go home together every single day, right? And so if we were going to bicker and go back and forth because of our personal life and bring that into our business life, there was no way we would be as successful as we are today. There's no way. And Jared says, go April. You have fans. Look at you. The whole world knows you.
He's being a jackass.
See, that's pregnant April talking. You give her a compliment, she's mean to you.
Jared, don't give compliments. I know there's meaning behind that.
Jared's a genuine guy. He probably meant it with all sincerity. So, anyways, guys, there's a tremendous amount of things you can take from it. And so, I'll tell you another story because April sure as hell ain't going to tell you any. She's like, you going to tell a story?
I don't have any.
No. She has 1,000
You gotta tell me a
stories.
story to give.
So, I did an investment deal. I'm big on investments, obviously. The more money we make, the more I invest. And I did this investment deal with a loan. It wasn't a loan. It wasn't a loan. All right. There was some miscommunication over the loan. It's in court right now. Missaukee County. Kiss my ass. Anyways, I bought some equipment from a gentleman. And in buying the equipment from this gentleman, he decided that he needed it longer than I was ready to go pick it up. And so we got a forwarder and we purchased it. We wrote out a bill of sale. Like I bought the equipment. And then he was like, I needed to finish this job. I needed to finish this job. I needed to finish this job. And so what we did, and they needed the money. That's why they were selling the forwarder. And so what happened is after they sold me the forwarder, we did structure like a loan type agreement. And the longer they had the equipment, the longer they had the equipment, the more interest they had to pay me, the more money, the fees they had to pay me. And at the end of the day, if they didn't pay me back everything that I gave them, then I could go and get the forwarder. And so I did my due diligence on everything. I saw I'm getting calls left and right today. Busy. So I did the deal. I did my due diligence on everything. And then not only doing my due diligence on everything, but I made sure that the equipment was in the gentleman's name. Tricky situation. I'm going to tell you that in a second. Not only in the gentleman's name, but then also that he had jobs lined up and that he was good for it. And guys, this was a significant loan. Like this sucked. And so if it would have paid off, it would have been a real good deal for me. But what happened was April, this whole step through, she was like, I wouldn't do it, Ryan. And I said, like the collateral's good. I bought the equipment. They needed it back. And so we structured a loan out of the deal. I'm a businessman, right? If it makes sense on paper, I'm going to do it. But what happened is April's like, don't do it, right? You didn't want me to do it. It was a large amount of money. And I did it anyways. And my gut even kind of told me not to do it. Always listen to your gut, guys. But my gut even told me kind of not to do it. And so in that, I did it. And what happened was the gentleman took my money. No big deal, right? I bought the forwarder. I had the paperwork for the forwarder. I wasn't worried about the money. I didn't want a loan structure. I wanted the forwarder, right? That was the whole point of it. And so I went to pick up the forwarder, and I couldn't get it. It was the police actually told me we couldn't pick it up. It was in his father's name. The father and the gentleman have the same exact names, and so it kind of fucked me. The point of the matter is that my other half, supposed to be like my partner in life, told me multiple times not to do the deal, and she's been pretty lenient. Next level, she said she didn't want me spending money, but it wasn't about the deal, but we did that. Dark Side Studios, right? We did that. She let that one go. SNR, she let that one go. She hates SNR, right?
I do.
But I love SNR. SNR does well. SNR is more about having like cool toys than anything, like backhoes and wood splitters and just cool stuff. Wood processors and
Except you
plow
don't touch
trucks.
any of it.
Well, right. But it's nice to have. What if I need it one time?
You would have James do our yard.
That's true. I will. But she's approved of a lot of these things, and she was 100% against 100% against this loan. But what's something when I make up my mind, there's like no talking me out of it, right? Like when I went and bought the new snowmobile, I go, "What do you think?" She goes, "It doesn't even matter what I think. I know you're going to do it, right?"
As long as I sign for it.
Yeah, she has better credit than I do. I'm not ashamed to tell you that. I'd get real high interest, or maybe no interest. Maybe they wouldn't finance me, and she gets this good interest. So, but there's pros and cons. Well, shit, never mind. Go Ryan. I told you, Jared. He was on your side. You're just a hater, man. You're just a hater. But there's always times that you could be learning from your other half and listening to your gut. And so, April, she's the first one. We lost a lot of money, and she's like, she hemmed and hawed about it for a minute, and then she goes, "I fucking told you so," right? And she didn't let it go, but the reality is that she was right on it. And so I should have done it. We learned from it. At the end of the day, guys, you move past it. I said it was a real expensive lesson, and it's over now, and I'm glad it's over now. And you just move on. You try to forget your mess ups, right? If there's an argument that April and I get into, and we get in the argument, and she's right, I probably won't tell her she's right, but I won't bring the argument back up. I'll just let it go, and I'll just let it die, right? How many times do you think you've been right in an argument?
I'm always right.
Yeah, that is a typical woman thing to say right there. I'm always right. What gentleman says, always agree, right? Happy wife, happy life. Try doing that while she's pregnant. You think you can make her happy while she's pregnant?
If it's a girl, you won't have to.
Right. I'm trying. If it's a boy, I'm going to go live when we find out if we're having a boy or a girl, just so the world knows if I'm missing the next day, it's because she killed me, right? She's really dead set on a girl. And then, now she says, we have 3 kids. This is kid number 4. We're building a new house right now. She goes, if this isn't a girl, we're having another kid. 5 kids. And twins run in both of our families. Could be 7 or 8 kids by the time we're done with it. And so, here's the difference with that. I come from a big family. How many is in your family?
Like my main family? Or
I
all
don't
together?
know your brothers and sisters.
I have 2 sisters and a brother.
Oh,
Not
so a little
adopted.
family. So I have all right. So you got 2 other kids, right? So I come from my mom's side's 9, and my dad's side's 6, 5, 6. Chris.
I
Isaac.
haven't met half of your family.
Yeah, Chris, Isaac, Emily, Kim, Sam. 5. Okay, so I was 6. But what I'm getting at is I come from 2 big families, and so for me, having a big family, 3 boys, 4 boys, 5 boys, 6 boys, it doesn't matter how many boys we have.
The fuck it don't.
So, but, or a girl, I want a girl. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I want a girl. But we can have a big family. The difference is, guys, and I'm not going to try to rain hate on anybody, so please don't take it this way. I'm just dropping some facts, is that we're doing very, very well. And so if we want to have kids, who the fuck cares? I mean, some people say, "Oh, you're having too many kids. I don't know how you do it." Man, I love my kids more than anything in my life. My kids give me more purpose today than I've ever had in my entire life. If it wasn't for my kids in April, I would not be where I'm at today. I would not be doing the things I'm doing, the money that I'm making, the businesses that I own. I would not have any of it. And so if I was on welfare, getting food stamps and disability and an SSI check, you could talk shit about me having a small army for a family. But the fact is we're doing really well, and so you can't talk shit. And if you do, your haters push you, right? We talked about that today at lunch. Your haters push you. People like, somebody was talking shit about us today with Keystone, just about like us in general. And somebody called us and asked if we were hiring because somebody was talking shit about us. That's nice. Work so hard that your haters promote you. That's awesome. Every time somebody's like, fuck April and Ryan, rich bastards, somebody knows we're doing well. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant, guys. They're facts. A lot of times we get to a point in life now, I don't even like telling people the facts about our family life because in life they say it's bragging, right? When I just give facts now, it sounds like somebody can make the case that it sounds like we're bragging. And so when you ask me what I do, I say, I'm an investor or I work with investments. I don't tell you all the companies I own. When somebody asks me, how many or what kind of pets we have, I don't bring up the monkeys. April will be the first one to bring up the monkeys. But the point is because people, for some reason in life, guys, and this isn't for everybody, right? This isn't for everybody at all, but for some reason in life, there's certain people out there that want to see you fail, right? They want to see you land on your face, and 90% of the time it's out of spite or envy or whatever the case may be, but there are those people out there. And so the you know what the best revenge is? The best revenge on my end at this point is massive fucking success, right? If I'm mad at somebody, if I'm irritated with something, I'll tell you that I went to Missaukee County and asked for guidance over our loan deal, and they treated me nicely. I told them everything, and I did a video on live stream here, and I worded it incorrectly, right? I structured it as a loan. I did, but there were some steps before that, but I shortcutted it. They reached out to me and they pretty much told me to go fuck myself. and so I was bitter about that. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was very bitter. I actually lost sleep over that because, guys, I'm a relatively good person. I give back to the community. I'm very proud to say this, that Godfrey Chevrolet and myself are teaming up to give back to the young man that the Green Motel in Manton burnt down. And we're gonna, the young boy, I think the mother's in prison possibly. I don't know the full story, but the young boy got burnt very, very badly. And he needs to go to U of M all the time for his burns, and the family doesn't have a vehicle. And so there's 3 of us that are putting this together to make this happen for this family. And so, and guys, like I give away a lot of cars as well. And so for Missaukee County to come back on me and basically tell me I'm like a liar and a shitty person, that really chapped my ass. Like, because I'm really trying to give 110%. I'm really trying to give back to the community. I want to better everybody. Like, I don't own 5 companies in 2 counties because I hate those 2 counties. Like, I want people to do well. I want our companies to grow. I want those families to do very, very well. And so what happened is I took that really, really personally, right? I did. I lost sleep over it. And so doing that, I really just chapped my ass. And I can't go over that. I can't say that enough. But this is the point, guys. After 5 or 6 days, I got over it. My attorney said, let it go, let it go, let it go. Like, you worded it wrong on the video. Fine. I admit guilt. Guys, I'll be the first one to tell you when I'm wrong. Why? Right? Do you know why? Why am I the first one to always admit when I'm wrong?
Taking accountability.
Taking accountability. And the second part of that is that there's always something that you can learn from being wrong. If I'm wrong, that means somebody else was right. Guys, I don't always have to be right. You get around those people that are always right, it drives me nuts, right? Or people that always have excuses. Man, I'll tell you what, if you ever hear me have an excuse, a legitimate excuse, or a bullshit excuse, you better check me on it because I'm really big on excuses. Like if you come to me with an excuse, I 90% of the time won't even listen to your excuse because I think they're bullshit. I think there's things you could have done to prevent that. And so I'll tell you that I worded the video wrong, but I really, you know what I mean? It hurt my pride and it hurt what I was trying to do, but it didn't stop me for 1 second, right? I still I even shared the video a couple times, even though I worded it wrong. I'm still giving away vehicles. I'm still doing small business loans. We're still doing small business startups. And the reason is because you can't let the noise out around you. You can't let the noise affect your life, right? There's a lot of bullshit. We had, this is a good one. We'll touch on this. You can touch on this. I don't want you to go into too much detail. We had somebody call CPS on us, Child Protective Services, on my wife and I. Why'd they call?
Because we had laundry on the floor and dishes in the sink.
And our monkeys.
And our monkeys.
Right, and our monkeys. And so with some absolute bullshit, guys, that, and so when CPS come out, Child Protective Services come out, they say we need to see papers and documentation on these monkeys. I thought, holy shit, man. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, somebody doesn't have anything better to do than bitch about my monkeys. And guys, here's this, like, it's kind of sad. We don't really have any friends. Like, we have friends, like, around here, but we don't really have any friends that come to the house on a daily basis or that hang out with us. And so we're like, damn, dude, we don't know who this is going to be. And I'm not going to go into a bunch of detail for you, but somebody was more obsessed with how good we were doing, how well we were doing, that they weren't focused on their own life. They were focused on ours. And so they turned us in because of our monkeys, which is just absolute bullshit. But what'd that do? That created noise, right? That created a lot of noise. That created us to get off our rocker. That created us to have discussions with each other. That created us to be worried about it. And it's all bullshit, guys. It's all fucking noise, right? It's all noise. And so what I'm getting at with the scenario with CPS, which is complete bullshit, and it's, you know, it's closed, it's done, whatever. You know what I mean? My monkeys are legal. One of these times we'll have them on the show. But also with the story that I'm telling you about the loan, or about buying the skidder and what that turned into a loan, and the issues I ran into with Meskwaki County. You know, I wish they would have guided me better. I wish that I could have done something to prevent it, but the video I did was off, and so we won't dwell on that. But here's the point, guys. I'm not gonna stop doing anything that we're fucking doing right now. I'm not gonna stop starting businesses. I'm not gonna stop doing loans. I'm not gonna stop giving cars away. And because what happens is somebody can say, it's just the opposite, right? It's like bragging. People say bragging in reverse. People always tell you like, oh, my situation's shit. Right? You get on Facebook, you see 15, 20 people that bitch about their situation, correct? Right? Bitching about bills, bitching about this. It's bragging in reverse, and for some reason that's socially acceptable. I don't know why, but for some reason it is. But telling somebody about your situation, if it sounds really, really good, you're boasting or you're bragging. I'm getting off kilter though. But what I'm going to get at is by overcoming all these things, by having them come at me, having new problems, and absolutely fucking destroying them, right? And I don't mean that in a negative turn. I mean like by taking massive action and having overwhelming success, that is the biggest revenge you can ever have. The biggest revenge you can ever have. Because when we are doing extremely, extremely well and people are talking shit, that literally doesn't affect my bank account at all. People's feelings do not pay your bills. And so what I'm getting at, guys, in a roundabout way, you have to continue to take massive action, okay? You have to continue to take massive action. You have to have a phenomenal partner in life, even though she doesn't talk for some reason that much.
You got off about loans.
Right. But it's important. And so, but even though that, you know, we have our differences. You got to have a partner that's going to help you get through everything you're going through in life. You got to have somebody that's going to be there for you when you're on your up times and on your down times. And you can't let the fucking noise get involved, guys. You always have to push through. You always have to continue going. It's easy to get off kilter, right? It's easy to get distracted, right? There's days that I probably piss you right off. Does that affect the way you work?
No.
Right. You just put it off. Whether that's because I piss her off so much that she just blows right through it, or whether it's the fact that she just does phenomenal, the reality is that she doesn't let it affect her. When we had CPS calling us, did it affect the way you did your job the next day? No, because it's all bullshit, guys. It's all noise, right? And keeping somebody on the level playing field with you like that is that we have our differences, right? We definitely have our differences. But the mindset part of it is like, if I don't think something's very valuable, if I say, hey, listen, don't fucking worry about that shit. It's all bullshit. It's all noise. she's always gonna go with what I say, right? Normally, she's always gonna go with what I say.
When you piss me off, I probably make more sales because I want you to see my name on the text line.
Good. I'm gonna piss her off every day. She just told me that. I'm gonna piss her off every day. But anyway, so there's a lot of points. April, do you want to chime anything in on this at all? I know I'm talking a lot. I wanted to get you on. I wanted to get you brought in. I want you to talk about what you do, right? What are some things that you're overcoming as a new manager at Keystone? What are some things you're working on? I got one I'll drop on you. What are some things that you thought were good? Look at you just stare at me. What are some things that you're working on?
I don't know.
You're perfect all the way around.
No. But I don't know, like, what specific areas I'm working on.
Right.
Like, there's always improvement in every area.
There's a big one that we've been talking about lately, and it's something that's hard for me to talk with April about because April is my wife, and so whether she'll admit it or not, I can tell her something, and then a complete fucking stranger that has no credibility in our industry could tell her the same thing, and she'd probably listen to him better than she'd listen to me. But,
It's not true.
But what I'm getting at is April's at a point now, and it's a new challenge in our relationship where we're going from her being an agent to her having to go through a lot of personal growth. A lot of what we've been working on with April is personal growth, right? Overcoming situations, overcoming not only situations, but I'll make it Abby Carnahan and April are like best friends, and they get off very, very easily. And something that Abby knows this, I've had talks with Abby and April knows this, but there's a time where Jamie Hinckley, you guys saw Jamie last week, there's a time where Jamie and I are good friends, and then there's a time when I'm Jamie's fucking boss, and we have to go through shit, and we have to figure shit out, and whether we want to have that conversation or not, we have to have the conversation to continue moving on. And so April's in that point right now where she's really good friends with this little bug, dude. She's really good friends with Abby, but there's certain times where if there's an issue with Abby, you have to talk to her. And you have to do that on a level that you've never done it before because you've never had to go through like this now, right? You say we're always training, we're always learning. That's what you told me the other day, correct? I'm always working on ways to better them. But the difference is training in our process and the way we do stuff at homes, that's not personal growth. That's our system. That's what we do to do sales. That's just our industry. That's like training for a new job. I'm talking about some Tony Robbins shit, right? And not everybody has that in their workplace, and we pass that on to every individual. What we're doing is we're making April, we're growing April. April's, I'm not gonna tell you how young she is. She's young, not bad young, but she's gonna be an FA soon. She's 23 years old, but a lot of people say she's a 23-year-old manager.
Christmas Eve.
All right, you're 22. She's 22 now. Jesus.
Get my age right.
My bad. So, but she's 22 years old, gonna be 23. Most people say I'm not gonna work with her as an FA because she's so young. Bullshit, guys. That age is just like I'm not gonna say a number, but age, like she could be a phenomenal financial advisor at an age of 22 or 23. I was an amazing agent at an age of 21, 20, right? And so age has nothing to do with how good you can do your job if you're committed and determined and you're taking massive action all the time. But one big thing that we're working on with April right now, and we're working on our other agents, is personal growth. You guys, you don't get that in a lot of places. And so taking accountability, working on things that we could improve on, and not only working on things we can improve on, but truly trying to help people is hard. You gonna make it? She's had morning sickness so bad. So bad. It sounds like the exorcism every morning around 7 o'clock in my bathroom. It's absolutely terrible. But I believe it's karma for all the time she's mean to me.
I'm not mean. It's
Right.
just enjoyable when you're the one puking.
When I'm puking?
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't happen much. But, all right, guys, so I tell you what, do you have anything you want to add? You've been very quiet. You're not going to give me anything tonight, are you?
No, you threw me off.
I threw you off?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were on.
Yeah.
You've been very quiet. We're going to continue doing this, guys. We came to you a little early this week because we have some things going on. We have schedule conflicts, but when that happens, we adjust. We roll with the punches. We don't let that little shit get us all kilter. And so next week, I'm super excited. We got Alex Yonkman on. Mrs. Youngman has been battling cancer off and on. She's got a beautiful family. She's going to be on to tell us a little bit about her story and about pushing through some of the massive hurdles she's had in life. She's had more hurdles than you and I could ever even imagine. And she's still persistent. She still has an amazing energy. And so we have her on next week. We will be on at our normal time next week, 7 o'clock, guys. You got anything to say to end it?
No.
I threw off her game. So, guys, I always love to end this on a positive note. You guys absolutely have greatness within you. No matter what anybody else says, somebody's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Les Brown, right? Somebody's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. You take advantage, or you take account of where your life's going. You hold life by the balls, right? No one can tell you how your life's going to go. You guys have the opportunity in life. Every single day you have an opportunity to better your life. God bless. Have a good night, guys. We'll talk to you later.